having done video reviews for a good while now, I've obviously had a chance to try out a lot of gear, and subsequently, I get a lot of people asking me for my recommendations and opinions on what they should get for certain things. One such thing has been the Fuzz Face, or a Fuzz Face style circuit. And for the most part, there is one fuzz face out there that I have pretty much always recommended whenever someone, with certain exceptions, but when it gets down to it, for most players, this is the fuzz face I'd recommend. So let's have a listen, and then we're going to talk about what it is. So this is the Crosstown Fuzz from Mojo Hand. Now, I do want to mention off the bat, this is not a sponsored review. I did years ago do a sponsored review of this pedal. This has nothing to do with that sponsorship. This is entirely something I decided to do on my own. So, there are a couple of reasons why this is the fuzz face that I recommend to pretty much anyone who's looking for a good fuzz face. Now, is it the best fuzz face out there? That's pretty subjective, and there's a lot of different types of circuits out there nowadays, not just for this type of pedal, but for, all types of pedals. When you're talking about a clone, it's like, is it reproduction? Is it inspired by and taken to the next level? What kind of thing is it? There's certainly fuzz faces out there that are great, that the companies, kind of spare no expense finding rare and high quality components that wind up costing a lot of money, that have the basic setup as the originals. There are others like this that give you more flexibility, more control. What I like about this one is functionality wise and quality wise, it kind of ticks all the boxes for me. It's not debilitatingly expensive. It's certainly not as inexpensive as, a cheap import one, but it's not at all unreasonably priced. This is, for an American made effect pedal of this quality, this is actually, I think, a pretty good price. It is a germanium silicon hybrid, and what's great about that is it gives you kind of the best of both worlds. If you're talking about fuzz face, it's like, are you talking about the early kind of fat warm tones, or are you talking about the later, more distortion like kind of strident tones, or what are you talking about? Well, this gives you the ability to dial in everything in a kind of genuine way with a combination of the body and the tone control. Now, it's also super low noise, and it plays well with other pedals, which is, just amazing, because fuzz faces can be notoriously very, very finicky. The body and the tone really make this pedal worthwhile for me. Now, the gain has a nice sweep to it. You can get some cool kind of starved fuzz tones, or you can, use it with the gain back in association with other effects, or, an already overdriven amp, and, get a lot of different sounds that way, so it's usable. If you're going straight into a clean amp like I'm doing today, it sounds certainly best, I think, with the gain a little bit higher. The tone, of course, you can get the tone up really high, and it doesn't just get too awful to listen to. It's really got a nice range on it, which is good because it sort of allows you to tailor it to your rig. And the body is one of the things that makes it really special. It's that kind of, it's described on the website as that sort of woolliness, like that big fat woolliness. With the body up, it's got that big, bold, robust kind of fuzz face tone. If you pull it back, it gets more slender. This is great, again, for tailoring to your pickups. So, if you have humbuckers, you might not want that big, massive low end. You might want it with single coils. You can kind of just tailor it very, very easily with this. And again, between the tone and the body, you can just get a lot of different classic fuzz face tones, whether you're talking about Hendrix or Gilmore or whoever you're talking about. You can do like the warm Eric Johnson kind of thing with this pedal. You can also just get a really cool, almost a distortion like rhythmic tone. So let's take a quick minute and listen to that kind of like, it's almost like a basic kind of like overdrive distortion rhythm tone that's really tight. It's not too hairy on the edges, but it works in a lot of situations. So let's take a listen to that. Now, I mentioned this is the one that I almost always recommend. There are obviously, going to be situations where I recommend something else, but if you're a player who's looking for a really good fuzz face that will work well on a pedal board, that gives you a range of sounds of, if you're not sure if you want a silicone one, if you're not sure if you want a germanium one, oh geez, who do you, what kind of sound of the fuzz face are you looking for? How do you want it to fit in? I think this one is the best one out there. It does the clean up thing well, as you heard at the beginning, with a Stratocaster, if you roll your volume back, it does that kind of fuzz face thing where you can sort of set your clean tone that way and roll it back in and play it differently that way. Now I'm just going to do one more tone for you here in this video. I did do 2 full reviews of this, one for my channel years ago, and also mine is the one that you'll see on the Mojo Hand YouTube page. So if you watch the video on theirs, that's mine that I provided for them. Again, those were sponsored. This is not sponsored. That was years ago. This is just one that people have been kind of asking again, what are my recommendations for certain pedals? And so I just wanted to say, I think this is for almost probably like 90% of people, if they say, hey, what's the fuzz face out there that you need? This is the one that you need. This is the one that's going to work with anything. So we did some Hendrix at the beginning, heard some cool rhythm parts. Now I'm going to play something more inspired by Gilmore and add in a little bit of delay. Let us know in the comments, have you tried the Mojo Hand Crosstown? What's your favorite fuzz face out there? Is there a different one that you prefer? And again, if you want to hear more tones from this and kind of go more of a full kind of picture of the different range on the knobs, please feel free to visit those old demos that I did, which I will link to in the description. I'm Jack Fossett. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the video.